sorry ass DJ.
You can get some.
Many spend their days passively searching for something interesting to do. Others dig in and find it. While nothing is certain, anything is possible. And the anticipation leads you into action. Because it's here that adventures begin. Stories are unearthed. Secrets are revealed. Fortunes are found. Mysteries are solved. And the past is brought to life. Nothing valued is ever lost. It's simply waiting to be discovered. So here's the question. What are you looking for?
It's Thursday. It's 8 o'clock. It's the big detecting show. And I'm all on my own. Well, the guest, of course. Yes, Mr. Gaylor has decided that his wife's far more appealing and interesting and worthy of our attention. So he's off ski for the start of the birthday celebrations for the lovely Mrs. Gaylor. And he's gone to the theatre. And sadly, Shane was also going to join us instead as the reserve guest host. Unfortunately, and I don't quite get this. Shane's getting married at the end of the year, and I'm his best man, and he seems to have gone with his wife for a taster session of the food. Shouldn't that be my job, being the expert in food? Excuse me, I am, and my camera's wrong, so I'm ducking down now. And it was a little bit late notice to ask Digger Dawn if she's available, so just me as a host tonight. But we've got two guests in the back room at the moment, both from. I'm giggling at one of them because you can only see the top of his head like that. Yes, Bobby, that's you. That's better down there. So we'll get to them in a moment. In the meantime, hello to everybody who's normally here. Nick West, happy birthday, Nick West. See, I remembered. Hope you're bearing up. Andy T from Canada. Phil Wills. Charlie Dreamer. Alan Bell. Stephen Brain. Ian Greenall. Ant Blakey. Snake Raps. TC Detects. Detects, does he? Carl Ellis, Jerry O'Donnell, Michael Jarvis, Andrew Kerridge, Matt Kent, Gordon Gillies, Andy T, Steve Newman. How are you, Stephen? Lovely to see you. Malk Sutt, who, if you want a Black Ada Spade, he's the man to talk to. And if you want a holiday down on the Isle of Wight, he's the man to talk to. Anyway, so there's everybody. Hello, everybody. Hello, Andrew Reese as well, who's just popped up there. On behalf of Luke last week, and no time out on the naughty step tonight, James, because obviously Adrian's not here to tell me to send you off. Anyway, yes, for those of you who donated to Luke last week. Luke came on the show to tell you all about what he was doing in aid of the great Tommy Sleepout. He's on day 21 of living in a cardboard box. So fair play to him. And I know for a fact, because me and Adrian were watching it for a good few hours after the show, some of the viewers made some massive donations that really did help. So thank you to them, and to those of you who even spared a little bit, obviously, from Luke. That was most generous of you all. We understand the times and everything at the moment, but obviously you all played the blinder, and he smashed the £1,000. Not only the total with the Facebook and the Just Giving page, but he smashed the total on the Just Giving page alone by the time we went to bed. So thank you to all. And apologies to any of the viewers from last week who missed the second half of the show. Luke, he has executive rights on the studio with myself, and instead of leaving the studio, he ended the stream. So we had to start another one. And that was hard work, but we got there. Yes, good week for everybody, I hope. I'm supposed to be going detecting on Sunday myself, although that plan has changed because I was supposed to be going with the Ministry Detect. Unfortunately, I've got a branch meeting, so I've got to go to the branch meeting. So I do have a permission very close to where the branch meeting is taking place, so I'll be going there instead. And then Shane has told me that I have to book a next Friday out as well. So I'm going with the boys next Friday. Anyway, without further ado, I will bring on our guest tonight, Gary Robertson and Bobby, whose last name I haven't got a clue.
Hammock.
Bobby Hammock. Say it again, Bobby. Yeah, we've got no sound off, Bobby. No, you've just. I've unmute you. Let me unmute you. Right, you're unmuted. Speak again. No, you've either got a very, very sore throat or you've got no sound whatsoever. I take it he's the technical genius in this organisation.
It's maybe just his signal.
So no, we haven't got any sound off you at all, Bobby. Sadly, it's the curse of the show. Someone always has a problem. If it's not Bobby not having any sound, it'll be me with me reception going out on the internet. And he's gone again. Let me kick him from the studio and let him come back on then. So you can click the thing and try and come back. Anyway, Gary, lovely to have you back.
Thank you.
Spoke to you last year, obviously. But for those who don't know who you are, can you introduce yourself?
So my name's Gary and I run the Facebook group Lothian Relics Charity Digs. It's essentially a metal detecting dig group, and we arrange digs every Sunday right throughout the year, raising money for charity.
Let's try Bobby again, Wally.
Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. He's a genius, I told you. Now, I take it you're on your phone, Bobby.
Yes.
Can you turn it into landscape mode for me? Look at that. Magic. So, Bobby, Gary's just introduced himself, and we've not had the pleasure before. Can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
Bobby Hammock lives up in Glasgow in Scotland. Metal detect absolutely everywhere and anywhere. I've been to every corner of Britain, even detected in Texas. But I just love
that's not in Britain, Bobby.
Everywhere I go, everywhere and anywhere. I've met you before in Ministry of Detectives.
Oh, right. Up at T-Bay Way.
Okay, remember that one?
Wait, sorry.
The Ministry of Detective, it was extremely mucky down the borders.
Up at T-Bay last
year, that's right. I was talking to you and your son.
One in the peak of the summertime, and it absolutely washed us out.
Yes.
I probably have, but I think I wasn't drinking that weekend because my lad, it was his first time away with us. So I actually didn't drink.
That's weather I've ever been in.
Do you know what? Myself included, I've travelled all over like yourself, but it was something else, wasn't it?
It's still a good time, but as a way, I was with Stevie Ray. I met you. You were at the wall with your son.
Ah, of course.
There was a
Yes.
big stone in the wall, and we were discussing what the big stone was.
Yes, I remember now. Yes.
Yeah.
And we went round the other side and realised what it was.
Yep. Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. I remember well. Yeah. So were you with sort of in my presence when I fell over and my face went into a lady's backside?
Did you fall over?
I have a lovely. I've got nothing to show you. Yes, it was. Tony Kaywood was there as well, but he wasn't a hardcore like me and you. He went home. Malk Sut was there because Malk Sut was trying to show off in his van, and I can get off the field, and the farmer had to come and get him after he dug himself in.
Well, even the big 4x4s had to get trailed out.
Did myself. So you, Gary, you run the Lothian Relics charity digs every Sunday, and I take it that's obviously in Scotland. Do you venture south at all into the wilds of the north?
We were talking to some farmers in Suffolk, just this year on the hope to hold, a rally down that way.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, the chap didn't have enough land. So that kind of just fizzled out, really. But we're always looking to get in touch with farmers. We speak to loads of farmers up here, so we're always trying to get contact details for farmers all over the place. Not necessarily just Scotland. Anywhere, just anywhere we can get sort of permissions to have our rallies and digs. Anywhere, doesn't matter where it is, we would go to it.
So, when obviously with the charity digs, what would be the main charities that you're actually funding for your digs?
So we always give the farmer the option to pick. So he will, get first dibs on where it's to go. But we try to give it back into, his local community rather than out with his community. It works kind of well doing it that way because it gets us more permissions for the group that way. If he knows, he's getting paid for the use of his land, then the rest of the money has gone back to his community. And it could be anything. It could be village hall, school, nursery, somebody that's needing a bit of funding, anything, absolutely anything. It's not necessarily, something that's registered as a charity. It could just be an organisation, a club, a youth group, anything, absolutely anything.
So would you be able to estimate the monies that you have raised for charity?
Last year, just under 50 grand.
Wow. Kudos.
Just under 50 grand was last year.
Fantastic.
It's
something
good.
Myself and Adrian are very passionate about is waving the flag for the people who do raise that money because, how often do we get attacked in the metal detecting community? But when you raise a significant amount of money, even if it's a small amount of money, you're raising money, but people seem to gloss over that fact.
Yeah, it always seems to be the bad press that you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You never ever see anything good. Look at Rodney Cook, for instance. Over 100 grand. You just never hear about it on the mainstream news or TV or anything like that. There's absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Nobody gets any sort of kudos. But somebody chucking a couple of coins in a field to try and get a bit of fame. That's
Gary
news.
had a newspaper for that, a double spread for the amount of money he raises for charity.
Aye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you never hear it in the media.
No.
Well, it's something Adrian and I are planning to do is do something of a little bit more prominence to just to wave that flag occasionally. Excuse me, I'm going to burp. That's from drinking that pop too quickly. I've just spotted something I actually did buy the other day. Dr. Otek Sand Scoop. Do you know what? With all the bloody money off vouchers off them, it was 27 quid. And it's Dr. Otek have actually made a good thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, only good thing they've done. Apart from the cakes, obviously. So, Bobby, how do you tie in with the Lothian Relics? Are you an organiser along with Gary, or just a digger?
I'm mainly just a digger, but I help them out whenever they need a hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I do.
There's a big group. There's a big group to help it.
Really. I was with another organised digs for quite a while. And then they said they were going to stop for 8 months and then end up going with Gary, joined in with his team.
Yeah.
And Niller Club taken a big to do because I went and helped Gary's. But you can't go around helping anybody for charity. The guy does a great thing, so he does. Mm-hmm. Every week, people quite happily give him the money because they know it's all going to charity.
Yeah.
Some of the members actually ask Gary, well, listen, I've got a charity here that's looking for a wee bit of help. Gary's quite willing to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done it on numerous occasions. And so he has people that have been really ill. So anybody that does that is a guy in my books.
We actually, to be honest, we get approached for a lot of people. A lot of people that are looking for help, we've done kids that are going to America, I think it was, for cancer treatment. Just honestly, just loads of things. Loads of people will approach us and say, such and such needs help, such and such need help. You know, and we're always, if we can, if at the end of the day, it's down to the farmer at the end of the day, because we always give him the option. Where do you want the other half of this money to go to? So he will have the say. He can say then half it can go to his community, then we can donate the other half to, you know, somewhere we want it to go to.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll always try and help where we can.
It's quite
That's
amazing
why-
the amount of
that's why it's
farmers don't take their fee and
Yeah.
add it to the charity money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know how hard it is to get permissions these days.
Yeah.
And the enticement of the money is there, but as soon as you go to them with the money and you tell them what charity is going to, 99% of the time they'll like, put it towards the charity, and I'll put mine towards the charity.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant. The farmers are absolutely brilliant. So they're
Yeah, from my perspective, me and Shane Holdcroft, we do digs the Staffordshire searches, not as regularly as yourself, once, twice, 3 times a year, if that. But every occasion we've done it, I think the landowner has said exactly the same. Give my bit to them, well, apart from once actually. But the rest of them have put their money in the kitty to go straight to the charity. So, yeah, you know, again, a lot of landowners get bad press, but they're doing their bit as well.
I talked to a few landowners, and I know a couple of small farmers that are actually struggling to price the materials, fertilizers, and that. And for them to turn around and say, just donate my money, where it could be helping them, it's a great thing. That is.
Yeah. Are you going like that? Bobby, like I am, Gary?
Yeah.
On this mad boat, he's having a rave on a boat.
I'm happy.
I want to go where he's gone. So, one of the main thing that you organise yearly, I'm not. Is it the 3rd year or the 2nd year this year? Is Detectormania?
Yeah, it's the 3rd.
Yeah. So again, for those who don't know about it, tell us about the dates, etc., how people can get in contact with you regarding it, and a little bit more about the past Detectormanias to this Detectormania.
So this year it's going to be held in September the 20th to the 22nd, which is Friday to Sunday, but people can stay to the Monday and then leave on the Monday if they wish. Mm-hmm. It's going to be held in the Scottish Borders. I don't want to say too much about location because people will be all over the grid. It's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
So it's in the Scottish Borders. Tickets are on sale on the website, £65. Website is www.loadingrelics.com. There's tickets available. We sell tickets right up until the day before. The difference between this year and previous years, we secured the land quicker this year. Mm-hmm. It's always hard to get, you know, a bit of land to hold a rally on. It really is. So we secured that a bit quicker. The charity this year was picked off the back of a death that we've had in the family. We lost my brother-in-law, so my partner's twin, just before Christmas.
Sorry to hear that.
He committed suicide, so there's a charity that are working with the family called Neil's Hugs. So they work with families who've lost a loved one through suicide. But not only that, you know, if someone contacts them to say they're worried about, you know, a friend, a loved one, a family member, you know, if they think there's maybe a suicidal intention, they'll contact them and then they'll step in and try and prevent this thing happening. Suicide in men is crazy, and women. It's not just men, but it's just the numbers are just really, really scary, and there's just nothing getting done about it, you know. So for us, if we can just give a wee bit back, if that can help prevent and save one person's life, that's enough at the end of the day, you know. So That's where the money will go to. Numbers year on year are sort of climbing. Obviously, it's not a well-known sort of rally like your bigger ones, but year on year, people are starting to hear about us and how it's operated and things like that. So numbers are steadily climbing each year, which is good.
Could you just repeat the email at the website address for me, please?
It's www.lothianrelics.com.
Right, yeah. Sorry, carry on.
Let's say numbers are climbing year on year, which is good. The digs that we have every week, our numbers are always climbing. Week on week, I would say. And I think that's due to the fact that people know that, if they come to us for a dig, one, their money has gone back into the community. It's going to go to help someone out. Two, they're not coming and finding things that's been put in the ground for them to find, which is really bad in Scotland. Bobby's laughing, but he knows I'm right. There's other dig groups out there that are absolutely shocking for it. Our motto is, if it's in the ground, you'll find it. If it's not in the ground, you just won't find it. And that's as simple as that. We have nothing to gain. We don't make anything out of doing what we do. Everybody puts their time in and it's all for free. So there's nothing for us to gain to be putting anything there for people to find or to make our digs look the best.
Yeah.
It is what it is, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's a great team at the back. We all do our bit. There's loads of people that come and help out that people just didn't see, because 9 times out of 10 if there's an issue, they're contacting me. But you've got Bobby, Gordon, who's in the chat, Tomo, who's in the chat. There's Senga, there's Scott, there's Anne, there's Derek, there's Kevin. There's quite a few, that help out run this group. And without them, it just wouldn't be the same without them, to be honest.
But there's loads of members of the group actually come up more for their help.
Yeah.
Trying. It's just a great bunch of people. So everybody's always willing to help. So you never get enough help.
We run a raffle like at every dig, because obviously everything that comes in goes back out. I half to the farmer, half to charity. We've got to pay for the rally and things like that. And we didn't like, when we're selling tickets, we don't like to take that money back out to pay for things like a marquee, generators, light end, whatever it is that we need to get. So we run raffles at every dig. Yeah. That helps pay for all the stuff for the rally. But a lot of the members that come will donate stuff for us to raffle off and then buy a ticket to try and win it back. But that's just their way of, helping it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's an amazing group, and it's an amazing bunch of people that come here. Every single one of them. Can't thank them enough because they've been really,
met
really supportive.
One of your marshals last year, Darren Harvey.
Darren,
and you know what? I've got to know Darren quite well from the events that he's been at and I've been at. And you know what? He's art of gold. So just like you say, there's a one, for instance, of somebody I've got to know personally who gives up that back for his own time, his own volunteering. So, I'm getting accosted. The boy child's coming and bothering me. So, Xbox. You're not going on the Xbox. If he goes on the Xbox on a Thursday night, you won't have his show because all my bloody Wi-Fi goes. Right, you said Wi-Fi off then. I was wondering why it was going.
Darren does a lot of marshalling through all the rallies, so he does, doesn't
he? He does, yeah. As you say, he was Rodney Cook and it changes things as well. And even brought me a Scottish breakfast pack back, and that means more to me than anything, food. And me and Scottish breakfast packs have got a long history.
Yeah.
I've just got to say in the chat, hello to She Digs It, Roseanne, who's had a good, rather delightful find a few years ago. And that's all come to fruition this week. So well done to Roseanne. And don't let people bother you. And if they do, send them my way. She knows what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dave, have you done much detecting up in Scotland?
Do you know, I've never ever detected in Scotland. The closest I've got is T-Bay, where I've got family in Bonnybridge. So I spent a hell of a lot of time getting plastered on tenants in Bonnybridge in my youth. So, I still go up to see family quite regularly. In fact, I was being bothered the other day to go and visit. So I've been to Scotland. I absolutely adore the place. And without trying to be biased because you're on the show, but there's a lot of people who don't have a nice word to say about the Scottish, that they're tight and this, that, the other. I've never met a nicer people. I'm so accommodating, so generous. So when you're saying everything that you're saying about what the people are like with you, I can totally get that.
Yeah.
So the Antonine Wall runs through Bonnybridge, and I always wanted to play that a visit properly, but then realised about the laws and regulations and realised I can't.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Aye. I hope where also I've done a lot of in my previous incarnation before coming back to the world of metal detector. I spent a hell of a lot of time around Edinburgh, Roslin, not just the chapel. I was at the chapel before it was cool to go to, before Dan Brown wrote about it. Stayed at Roslin Castle, access to all the underground Edinburgh with the High Sheriff's assistant. So played a lot in Scotland. Love it. Some fantastic history.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of digs around Edinburgh. We do. We have a lot of digs around there. We've had some good digs up in Edinburgh, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one castle that we went to one night, and it was it must have been November, and it was Baltic. Hales Castle.
All right, so that's East Lothian.
Yeah. No, that's your neck of the woods then.
Yeah, East Lothian.
It was bloody cold, but what an absolutely beautiful place that was, even at night.
It's on the banks of the river.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
You walk through a bloody kids' playground to get to it.
That's right.
Took me right back, that is. Somebody's saying that haggis is class. Love haggis. Oh, but Robert Thompson was in Bonnybridge today. Well, half my family are actually in Disneyland at the moment, so.
Robert Thompson, he loves the sausage.
Really?
He does.
Special sausage. Right, I'm just going up a little bit and seeing if there's anything in. If anybody does have anything in the chat to ask Gary or Bobby, please put it in there. I'll get back to it because without Adrian tonight, I can't keep an eye on it as much as I normally do, which I actually don't.
If anybody's any brand new detectors lying about that they'd like to use for the raffles, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Keith Forbes just said Hales Castle's up for sale.
It is. It's up for sale just now.
I thought that would have been the Scottish version of the National Trust or something.
Yeah, well, it's owned by Historic Scotland.
Right.
But they have put it up for sale. I think someone's actually buying it, but it comes with a lot of clauses.
Right.
Obviously, they can't demolish it. They can't build on top of it, obviously, these things. But yeah, it's up for sale. They're obviously looking for some money, which is a bit of a shame. You know, that they would just sell off parts of, Scottish history.
So we could buy it and we could actually at least metal detect the kids' playground.
Yeah, you probably could. You probably could.
But probably you'd buy it and then Historic Scotland would stop you for digging it.
They would. Yeah.
That's mental. So, since we last spoke, then you had Detectormania. How many people about did you have at that dig?
I think we had about 150 campers, and I think around about 40 or 50 sort of day diggers, so a couple of hundred in total over the space of the weekend.
And obviously, you're looking at this year that being an increase in people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, if we get a minimum of a couple of hundred, it's good. But we say anything between 200 and 400 people will make for, a good rally and a great donation to a really, really, worthy cause.
Yeah.
100% on that.
I think there'll be more people if across the border comes because it's a lot of folks.
Yeah, there's a lot of English people coming up so far. So they're the ones that are buying the weekend camping tickets.
Well, I think the thing is, obviously, predominantly the bigger rallies in England are down south. The one in north of England isn't taking place this year. Yeah. So people, you're catering for people who are a bit closer to yourselves than are down south, and the popularity and the brand is growing. So it's all the good things are there.
Yeah, definitely.
English people don't tend to come up to Scotland because there's very little here. They stay where they are because all the stuff's down there.
Yeah.
And
I wouldn't say too much, trust me.
You're spoiled in there, so you're
spoiled for choice. It's hard.
Further
down than me, yeah.
But the Scottish detectives, we're a hardy bunch. We go for weeks and find nothing. You're spoiled.
Well, that's what makes it interesting, that little bit of winkling just to get that singular musket ball out. It's far more appealing than going out and getting bloody loads of Georgian pennies, isn't it?
Well, that's it. I think the site this year is a good site. The farmer who owns it is an archaeologist, and she's absolutely fascinated. She was passed this farm through her dad, and she's absolutely fascinated to find out what's on the land. Where there was an old medieval castle on the farm, but there's literally zero history to be found about this castle. So that tells you how long it's been gone. But round about it, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 villages round about it, and it's exactly slap bang in the centre of these other 4 villages.
Yeah. So
the mileage between this farm and this, or the castle that was on the farm, to each village is exactly the same. And she reckons she reckons it's possibly been either an old market site or it's been a sort of safe haven if anything has been happening in any other of these villages. So they would go to here.
Yeah.
So we just don't know. It's never been detected before.
And if there's a castle, you're going to have the land workers there. Certainly, there'll be small holdings there. As the owner looked at it, and I don't mean as a intrusive archaeological perspective, but as she viewed it aerially archaeologically, landscape archaeologically.
Yeah, she's nothing. She's never done any sort of digging on the farm.
No, that'd be intrusive, but visually. Has she come up with anything that she could say? Well, that would suggest.
Yeah, she's actually done a bit of research on it, and she's struggled to find anything on the actual castle itself that was there. It's been mentioned in a couple of books, and that's the reason I know the castle was there, and obviously the foundation through LiDAR scanning. But apart from that, there's absolutely nothing on it. There's nothing at all. She's looked through the national records and things like that, and there's absolutely zero.
So she's going to be up front all weekend just to see what's coming off then,
probably,
isn't she?
Yeah, probably.
Is it a working farm as well as
it is it's a working farm, yeah. Yeah, it's a working farm now. So she's quite excited.
So am I.
So it'll be good. It should be good. It'll be good. And obviously it's undetected, so absolutely anything could pop out the ground. We just don't know. We just don't know.
Very exciting.
Last rally, weren't they? The archaeologists were at the last rally.
We did. We had Historic Monument Scotland came out. We had, I think, 6 scheduled monuments on the land, so they came out and marked them out for us. The guys were brilliant. And then Treasure Trove popped up just to have a chat with everyone. We're trying to get sort of heavily involved with the dig groups in Scotland because not a lot of people are handing stuff in. I keep it because of the process. The process is a long process.
And of course, it's a lot different than the UK as well.
Well, there's a petition going about there now, so they're having a sort of King's Lords meeting, an annual meeting that's coming up, and they're asking people to fill out this questionnaire. And I think everybody who's filled it in are saying, look, we need to start getting in line with more of the English laws, detecting rather than the Scottish laws. And I think that's right. They say everything up here belongs to the Crown, but if we go down south and start digging up there, it doesn't belong to the Crown. So if this is the UK as a whole, anything that's dug should belong to the Crown. And it shouldn't be different laws for the guys down south to the guys in the north. I can't get my head around that. I just think that's an absolutely crazy law.
We republished on the Archaeology Metal Detecting magazine a post by Tom Dempster about 2 years ago now, saying is Scottish treasure trove fit for purpose, and he basically ripped it to shreds in its current guise.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in, Bobby's been in as well, and we've had chats with him about different things. It's just, you feel like you're actually banging your head against the wall, even speaking to these people, because they just say, well, it's nothing to do with us. You need to put your points across so that when we have our annual meetings, it can be brought up at meetings. That's just nonsense because they're just going to continue as they are anyway, and the backlog he finds up here and the amount of people that are dealing with it is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Gordon Gillies says, Bobby, you could have put your Sunday best on for the show.
That's a Sunday best a cheeky get.
Robert Thompson says, Bobby still had his first wage packet full of hammered coins. James Roberts says, hey, Bobby.
In the bar.
And Matt Kemp, fair play to him. He said the history in Scotland is beyond the metal. See Orkney, Skara Brae, Mayshow, the Ness of Brodgar, 5,000 plus years of history.
Yeah.
Friend of mine who I met through Facebook, Stuart Payne, he lives very, very far northeast. And the stuff he's been finding over there is quite phenomenal. He took a walk on the beach before he started detecting and actually found a sword on the beach between some rocks. And through his local FLO or equivalent archaeologist from somewhere, and somebody in the Scottish archaeological department, they determined they weren't exactly sure of what it was. I was able to help him because I know somebody in Denmark, and it was identified as a Viking sword, and that was on a beach in Scotland. So
there you go.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it is, but it must be cold up there. It's that far north. Don't forget, if anybody does have any questions for Bobby or Gary, pop them in the chat and I'll try not to miss them. Stephen Spence says, don't forget us over here in Northern Ireland. We won't. Senga Dunlop says, we love this group. Senga, that's a proper Scottish name, that, isn't it?
We Senga.
My mate actually always, his name was Scottish Dave, don't know why. He actually called his mum Senga. It wasn't a name, but he always called her Senga. And Sedge, her name was Jess, that was it. He said she had a name tattooed on her knuckles, and if you're it, you should say Sedge. And he called her Senga as well. Joe, I mentioned to you earlier about me family up in Scotland. I went to my auntie's funeral, and it was the first funeral I'd ever been to that was performed with, a full Scottish funeral.
Yeah.
And I'm just expecting a funeral. It's the first thing I've been to outside of England, and bloody hell, something else.
Best
Madness, cheer, all sorts going on.
Did you get home sober?
Don't be daft. I wasn't driving. Incidentally, when I come home from that thing, you got dropped off at home. I didn't get dropped off at home. I got dropped at a club in Crewe. I went to see Dogs the Moor straight away on my way back from Scotland. So, Bobby, how long have you been detecting?
6, 7 years, maybe. 6, 7 years.
And what got you into the hobby?
I've always just loved treasure, looking for things, silver. I like doing things like that. Outdoors. I love the outdoors. So I do. But I was a right fisherman at one time. So I think you get a lot of metal detectors as fishermen. You're actually gold panning now is one of the things now, isn't it? Up north, up here anyway. A lot of them are going into the gold panning.
Yeah, I've met a few over the last year or so, and that I think they were actually at MOD as well, and that was fascinating in itself.
It's an interesting thing. Well, one Lockheed Championship competitions is doing the Lead Hills. I was doing there one year. It was me and the kids. Brilliant time. But it's brilliant.
We were supposed to be having the guy on from the World Panning Chat, one of the organisers last year, but that all fell apart, and then he went travelling over to Iceland or somewhere doing it. So we didn't get him on the show in the end. So well reminded. But I mean, the difference with that is, from what they were telling me, it's not just a case of where we go, park next to the field, jump in the field, metal detect, jump in your car and go home. You have to go some bloody difference to go gold panning in some places.
Yeah.
Oh, people way up north.
Yeah.
But they do in all weathers as well, but it's not for the faint-hearted.
And then obviously in the news this week, there was that biggest alleged gold nugget found in England.
Yeah,
in a metal detecting rally.
Yeah. We are faulty detector, they're saying. That just makes headlines, doesn't it?
It does. There's a question. If you are here, James Roberts, Malk Sut said, are the MOD gang attending Detectormania? Detectormania must be the one where they have the cores over from Ireland.
All the MOD guys are coming down.
Brilliant.
Great bunch of guys.
Yeah.
And girls.
There's a good few. Gary Cook's coming up. Digger Dawn's coming up. Soil Sisters are coming up. There's quite a few. Fathers coming up.
Watch them Scissor Sisters. If they offer you a drink, don't have it. I was all right. I think I'm one of the only people who's come through one of them drinks unscathed.
It'll be good. It'll be a good weekend. It'll be a good laugh.
When you say the Scottish borders, when I went to Detectorcon last year, Shane took me via Scotland to Northumberland. We had words about it. I said, you're not allowed to be the captain anymore. I'm the captain. Sorry, I was reading something in the chat. He took me into Scotland, and that says Scottish borders. So the Scottish borders, does that like more or less mean the border, sort of like Carlisle all along through Northumberland, that sort of thing?
Yeah, but it's more so to the east.
Right.
It's more so to the east. The bit I've read about this castle that was on the land, supposedly that castle sat on what was the original Scottish border.
Got you. That would
one point
mean
in time.
probably it'd be quite prominent in itself to have that.
Well, you would think so.
Yeah.
You would think so.
Yeah, people try to get all your words and try and find where it is. It's on the book. It's there. There.
Yeah.
Who's asked the question? Oh, right. So, Aunt Blakey asked me if I spoke to Tezza today. I have, but he was sending me funny videos, and I know there's something else in there off him. He said, "You never guess what he's gone and done today. Don't tell me with his Garrett he's gone and found another gold. I forgot the name of them. Celtic coin. What's the name of them?
Yeah.
Stater. I'm trying to say Sphincter, but that's wrong. I shouldn't. Gold Sphincter's very wrong. Alan Bell says at Gary, the Kellerholm Metal Detecting Club is coming in September. Make sure the bar's stocked.
Come home.
What was his name again? Because he's gone now.
Alan Bell.
Alan Bell. Dave Sadler's coming in September, so you definitely need to make sure the bar's stocked. Got my ticket.
DVD comes, we'll need the bar stocked.
Just keep away from Malk Sort. Don't trust him.
Malk's a good guy, so he is.
Yes.
He is, but I just have to give him abuse. He's just that way inclined now.
Malk's actually a great supporter of the Detectormania rally. He's a really good supporter of it, to be honest.
He does some miles himself, does old Malk, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I
don't actually know where he lives because he's all over the place.
Every time he posts it, something breakfast or dinner, so he is.
I saw him a couple of weeks ago, actually, at one of the MOD digs that I went to up in Lancaster. Great day. And oddly, obviously, everybody shares the finds. He showed James the finds on the day. And somebody who was at the event found what they thought was a draw handle. They showed the FLO the finds, and the FLO pointed out that it wasn't a draw handle. It was a Roman penannular bracelet.
Yeah. I seen all the for that looked like a great dig.
It did. It was brilliant. Yeah. It really, really was.
Leighton Hall, I think it was it.
Yeah. I think it was early last year. I went on my first ministry detect dig, and as I've said to James on more than one occasion now, I feel so comfortable going that I'm quite happy to say they're my favourite dig group. Nothing against any other dig group, but I just got so much time for the people, and I love going to the MOD. I'm supposed to be going. James can't come on Sunday. My fault. Forgot I had a meeting.
We travel quite a distance to go to the MOD digs, but I think James puts them as far away as he can for us. I think he's good.
There was one he was in negotiations to organise this year. I don't think it's taking place, but that was very, very close to for me. In fact, I probably think I know the land that it was on, and I was very excited for that. But obviously, as you know, Gary, certain landowners, you can say one thing and mean another a couple of weeks later.
Yeah, it's difficult. James does obviously a great job getting land. He travels all over the place, and I don't think people appreciate the guys that run these groups, how far they actually travel.
Yeah.
When I first started this group up, I was probably doing 400 or 500 mile a week. I was taking time out of work to go all over the place trying to get land. Mm-hmm. The miles you do is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But people just don't see that side yet.
No.
They just see, you've got a bit of land, we're having a dig, and that's it.
Even just trying to get a farmer in, you're going to the door 5-6 times before you actually see them.
Yeah. We're actually talking about this. We're talking about this earlier on today. So we're going to we've got a dig on Sunday, and I've been to this permission 13 times trying to get hold of the farmer. That's just one farm.
Yeah.
You know, because I tend to go back until I get a hold of the farmer. Until he gives me an answer, whether it's be a yes or a no, I'll tend to go back.
Mm.
You know, and that's 13 times I've continued to go back to this farm.
And I've seen it, and I'm sure you have seen, even if you've experienced yourself, seen a lot of people getting a lot of abuse from people who attend the digs, not being good land, this, it's that, it's the other, the rain was the wrong colour, anything they can moan about, they moan, but they don't see that what you're talking about.
Yeah, we at the end of the day, we can only research the land and go and tap the door. We don't know what's under the ground. You know, the farmer going on Sunday, I've got a permission that's really close to it, and I found an absolute stonker of Roman brooch and a pommel of a dagger on the same day on the same line. I've detected the field for about a week up and down, hadn't found anything. Went in sort of let's say the 5th day, and then found the pommel, found the brooch, then found a silver denari online.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just obviously missing it with the swing on previous days. Hence why we're going to this farm on Sunday. I'd showed the brooch and stuff to the guys that run the museum in Melrose. It's a Roman museum, and he told me that there's a missing Roman Legion fort in that area. So he said it's only between this farm and this farm, and it just happens that we've got all the land in between.
Yeah,
they know it was there, but they just don't know where. And I think that would be great for the group and the person, you know.
And Scottish history.
Yeah, to find it, I think it would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing to go and to be the ones to find it.
So do you get to detect yourself much, Gary?
No.
He talks too much.
I talk to everyone else.
Talks?
Yeah, I just talk to everybody. I like to just have a wee chat with everybody, make sure everybody's all right, and then once they're all out in the field, then I'll start walking around the field and chatting to them. You know, very rarely.
People chatting on our group. It's quite a close knit group.
Yeah,
you always see a lot of people just stopping and talking, and you hear them shouting to each other when they see each other. I've not seen you for ages and all that. How you keep them? It's actually they all sort of look after each other. They're always asking for and things like that. So which is quite unusual to other groups.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're not the same, but everybody knows their pals and who they can go and talk to and all that. Even the other groups, when I go to the other groups and talk to you, it's like, I've not seen you for ages and things like that. Quite a close knit. Yeah.
Even right from when, first thing in the morning, I'm normally there for about 7 o'clock, dig doesn't start till 9. And we will literally get people turning up, at 7, 10 past 7. Where other dig groups are like, don't turn up till 7:45, don't turn up till 8:30. They're quite strict on sort of the times. We're kind of a bit relaxed about it. People are travelling a long distances to come to these digs. You're not going to keep them in lay-bys and on the road, until these times. It's just generally just let them in. But they still know, it's detecting starts at 9. I think
I always get there early so I can have a look at the landscape.
Yeah.
Don't ask on the ground. I always look at what's on the ground first.
Yeah.
What's going on. Alan Bell says he remembers Gary driving to the other field, away to the other field, and leaving his detector against a tree.
Yeah.
Bobby, are you a blue or a green, Bobby?
Say it again?
Are you a blue or a green?
Probably blue.
It's all right then.
My uncle played for them, so I had to do it.
Did he really?
My uncle played for Scotland.
What was his name?
Alec Forsyth.
Alec Forsyth? Never
played for Man United.
I have actually heard of him. I was in the era when Graham Souness took over there, and you had the influx of the foreigners.
Foreigners.
I I know, obviously, I take notice because Andy Robertson, because I'm a Liverpool fan. And everybody else is saying who they are now. No, we've not know Adrian's World tonight because Adrian's not here. And Adrian will be also missing episode 200, would you believe, which is in 4 weeks' time. It's the night of his wife's 50th. You thought she could have moved the bloody birthday for one night. 200th episode.
So.
And we will have Digger Dawn will be joining us as guest host that night.
Is Digger Dawn bringing the new Garrett machine?
We had her on the show a couple of weeks ago, and she claims to know nothing about it as yet. Yes. Well, she wouldn't tell us anything anyway. So hopefully she might. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Some more information about the night. As TC Detect says there, lack of commitment from Adrian. Lack of commitment.
If they'll unveil the Garrett detector at the big Texas dig. I think Digger Dawn.
Possibility. What date's that? Is that
28th of June?
I was thinking June. So June, July, August, and then they'll obviously do a sort of like soft release over here as well, won't they? One of the big events.
Yeah, you would imagine so. They'll probably release it over there first.
Well, that's one thing. So I think that Texas dig is one of the big ones, and that's in.
Isn't it mad though how big them digs are in America comparatively to in the UK, where you're more likely, even in Scotland, where Bobby reckons there isn't anything under the ground, you'll find more in Scotland of age than you would in America because they're all seeded. Mental that.
Yeah.
I really couldn't get my head around going around on a seeded hunt.
Some good stuff they seed, the silver dollars and that.
They do, but to me, it's all about the history, not about finding seeded finds.
I found a cracker of a silver mercury dime at Rodney Cook rally once. It was a cracker.
Really?
Yeah.
To be fair, we've found some good stuff at the digs. Nothing, no hoards or anything like that, but some really, really great finds. One of the guys we were in a wee village called Gordon in the Scottish borders just last week, and one of the guys found a wee palstave axe, and this thing was tiny, about 3 inches long, about half an inch wide, a wee tiny thing. But just to think that sat there all that time, or somebody to come along with a metal detector and find it. I think it was about 4,000-year-old or something, this one. Just
what sort of condition was that in, given the ground conditions?
It was in good condition. It was in good condition. We've had a lot of Bronze Age axes at the digs.
It's amazing that somebody that's been detecting for years finds one and doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
Somebody on TikTok needs to tell them it's an axe.
I've found loads of axe heads now. At least I think they are until I actually get them in the hole, and there's nothing like an axe head at all. It's better trash, mainly.
See, the problem we've got up here with detecting is a lot of the land up here is owned by an estate. So we've got to, and the estates are they've got a blanket ban on metal detecting.
Yeah.
It's just a complete no. So you're trying to find all the sort of independent farmers in between, which can be quite difficult. If we could, I mean, we've cracked a couple of estates that have previously said no for years to any detector at all. And I think it's persistence, the way you approach it. Plus, you know, we're doing it for charity. The estate might make a wee bit of money, but at the same time, they can give a wee bit back to their community at the same time. You know, and I think that's helped us as well, on the estate side. But I think a lot of the estates, you know, I think they're just worried in case you find things and they're going to lose this, or it brings bad press, or they've heard bad press, and that's why they don't allow people on. I think that's the biggest hurdle we've got up here, is a lot of it's estate owned.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, a handful of
as
people as well.
a landowner in Scotland myself, you know, I can totally understand and appreciate their thoughts. Laird of Glencoe, as most people in England are now, I reckon. What machine are you currently using, Gary?
I've got the Knox, the 800.
Mm.
I've had various different machines, to be honest, and always went back to the Knox. Always went back to the Knox. I just find it just a good machine, to be honest, in comparison to some of the others that I've had. I had the CTX 3030, great machine. I just found it too heavy. For swinging about all day, it's just far too heavy.
Yeah.
I got the Apex Ace when that came out. I used it for about a week and I gave it away. I gave it away to someone that was want to get into the hobby.
Yeah.
And I've done that with a lot of machines. I've given them away to people that want to get in the hobby. And then they've got bored of it and then it's kind of come back to me. So we just we put them in the club. So people that want to come along and have not got a detector for the day, they can hire it, or they can hire. There's various different machines in the van that they can try out before they go and buy. I think that's good for people at the same time.
What machine are you using, Bobby?
I've got the Apex for the beach and my Knox 800 is my main machine, but I just bought a day there. So
Yeah, I don't know that. Robert Thompson's just said.
I keep laughing because I keep seeing Tomo in the chat and he's Bobby's got two left wellies. I'm billless.
boy comes out.
Apparently, someone's a wee helmet as well.
That's our Tomo.
Well, in other news, my Knox 800's going up for sale in the next week or so when I clean it.
I suspect Knox market because Minelab have brought all the new machines, so they flooded all these machines.
They have.
And the people with the original 800s, it's affected them. That has.
Yeah.
Well, I've got the Manticore, so. Look at me, posh knob. Well, I thought it's. I may as well got a top end for a change. I won the Knox in a lockdown competition, so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go the old log and I'm gonna go there and get the Manticore. So Manticore it was, and it's just for me like the Knox 800 because I just got used to the Knox 800. It's more or less the same apart from that ID system. And I know there's a lot more to it, but at the moment I'm still using it in basic settings, so it's just like Knox.
I've got a pal I got about me, and he's got the Manticore. He's got a CTX, he's got the 800, and he bought the Manticore. And I've been out digging with him, and he doesn't do any better than me. I'm not saying I'm better than him, but the twos are par. I don't see the big advantage with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a retard when it comes to it with machines. So it's for me, it's like they're all the same. It's knowing how to use them, and generally I don't, so I get what I get.
That's what it comes down to. See your settings. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
But everyone you speak to has got a different setting, and your setting's great. So I think it's each to their own.
Well, that's what I'm trying not to do as well for the first time ever. Normally I'll get a machine, play with it. Tony Kaywood will tell you I had the Ruta Salter 71, and I was using Team Rutus's settings off the Team Rutus website, and couldn't get on with it. I was finding things occasionally, but I just couldn't get on with it. It wasn't a machine for me. For me, it was just far too in depth. But I've actually sat down this time and tried to learn it a little bit better. And as I say, with going from the Knox to that, it's so similar. What I didn't expect, given what I'd heard about how big it is, this machine. So it's been all right, to be fair. Still loving Senga's name because people keep saying it. Hello, Senga. Just trying to see Senga's picture. Is that a dog with her or something? It's only about that big, so I can't see what it is properly.
Yeah, that is the size of.
Gordon Gilly says, pipe doon you. You can't beat, for me, right? I've got, as I say, Scottish friends and Scottish relationships. Having a conversation with somebody Scottish and they're typing messages to you in Scottish. It's absolutely brilliant. Love it. So what next then? I take it you'll have a dig on this Sunday.
Yeah, so dig this Sunday. I think we've got about 60, 70 people coming. That'll probably climb a wee bit, closer to the day. It's in a rich Roman area, so hoping for a bit Roman to come up. There's only been a single detectorist on the land. According to the farmer, the guys know there very often, but he has found a gold coin that was kept by the museum. Now, we know it's not been a sovereign because they wouldn't keep it. So, but we don't know what it is. Yeah, so we don't know.
The museum not been very forthcoming with any information on it.
No, to be honest, they're just an absolute nightmare. When we started the group up, we approached the museum, we approached TT, we approached Historic Scotland, any sort of government-run place like that we approached to try and work hand in hand with them. And they were always saying, we want to get metal detectors on side and blah, 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 blah. They're just not interested. They're not interested at all,
Aye, they're interested to find something.
And that is it.
Yeah.
But apart from that, that is the only time they're interested. They're not interested at all. They used to think that metal detectorists were absolutely shocking and they just destroyed everything. They destroyed all the archaeology up until around about COVID, when all of these things started to get handed in, then realised, oh, actually metal detectorists are really good. Look at all these things they're handing in. Sometimes we're getting like 10,000 items handed in within a month. Where would all that Scottish history be with the detectorists? It'd be still in the ground and left to rot. Maybe never ever to be found. So, but as far as our group goes, and TT, Historic Scotland, Historic Monument Scotland, they just don't want to work hand in hand with metal detecting groups. They just don't want to do it at all.
I think I know who Senga Dunlop is now. She said she met me last year at Scotty Bay's rally. And I've just gone onto Facebook to look who Senga Dunlop is, and I recognise her now. Hello, Senga. I'm just crap with names. Stephen Bray asked how long the battery lasts on the Manticore. If I was going away for a weekend, I would have to take a charger with me.
Was that not the argument when it just came out, when they said the battery life wasn't as long as the 800 and that?
It's not at all. But people have said to me, the iPhone battery charges a lot, holds charge a lot less than an Android. It's got more going on in its memory and that. Yeah. So when you're running that many processes, it's not going to be brilliant. So I can totally understand that. And as I say, there's a bugbear at the minute.
Your settings would hinder the battery life as well.
Yeah. And again, being me and a complete, when it comes to using a metal detector, then I've got to suss out how to keep battery life up, haven't I?
My Knox lasts me forever. I charge mine about once a month.
Aye, but you don't use it.
That's how often I use it.
The only time it wasn't is when he left it at a tree and realised that somebody else had been using it, the battery had drained.
Do you not think it's amazing the amount of digs you go in and you find spades and detectors and things all lying about?
People leave everything, don't they?
Just to dig, we were at the mucky one. Yeah. There was a full detector lying at the corner. They didn't know who. They were actually worried the guy had fell in the river or something.
I think we found his one of his knee pads last week at one of theirs as well. So Sunday you're off on obviously a 60 to 70 dig. We've got Detector. Let me put that along the bottom of the page again. You got Detector. Oh, he's gone. He keeps disappearing and coming back, does Bobby? Is this like a dig? He keeps disappearing and coming back.
That's what it does.
If you are interested, as we said earlier, if you follow the link at the bottom of the screen, learn more at www.lothianrelics.com for more information about Detectormania. Do you know when there's a conversation in the right-hand side, what you can see the chat combined, yeah?
Yeah.
So you got your Facebook stream coming through and you've got your YouTube stream coming through. And I think there's like a conversation and it's YouTube, obviously it's not connected to Facebook. Yeah. And it gets shared to so many Facebook groups that I haven't got a clue about what the conversations are. There's a conversation going on. Philip Wills is going on about Mr. Claypole, and I can only think he's on about Timothy Claypole. Oh, Miss Popoff. But, oh, right, I know what he's on about. He's talking about Bobby disappearing. And then Gordon Gillies is saying it's his wife telling him she's the boss. Calm down, Bobby. We Bill selling his detector, lol.
That Robert Thompson, many chance.
Yeah.
Away I go, yeah, munching.
So, what was the last thing of consequence that you found, Bobby?
The last good thing I found?
Yeah. Can't be that good.
Here at the rally, I found a Roman fly brooch.
All right.
It was no bad. Crota Bell, not that long ago. One of my best friends, a Saxon Skeet. Found a Huff Sovereign, gold medallion, ring. I've not found a lot of hammies in my life. I've not found a lot of them. Maybe 3 or 4.
I'm on 4 or 5 myself, Bobby.
That's just can't seem to find them. Got a couple of good coins, but nothing. It's hard up here. That's what I was saying before. It's hard to find good things.
Aye.
And do you find that you find in the likes of your James Hammond, or are you finding English Hammonds?
Eddie Penny's the old common one, isn't it?
When you're in Scotland, for instance, if you detected up there, what's the most common Hammond coin that's coming up?
I would say it was an Eddie Penny.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there no millions of them made?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably the most common one we've seen at our digs anyway.
I'm doing fun a couple of weeks ago in their digs, that fancy one.
Oh, the Mary Queen Scots.
Aye.
Testoon, 1561, absolute stonking coin.
That was a good.
Yeah, one of the guys, Charlie's name that was his first ever hammered coin. But it was found next to a castle where she had stayed.
Right.
So I says to him, obviously reported it to Treasure Trove. You're probably not going to get to keep it.
Absolutely not, yeah.
Just knowing the history and things like that. But I told them to make sure you get it valued before you take it to them. So they didn't try and lowball them on the value, because we can only see 2 online that were sold. And one sold in 2016 for like $7,000. And then there was one sold in 2021 for $17,000. So very, I mean, two different ends of the spectrum for sort of value. So I told them to make sure you get it valued before you even take it to them, because they're not a common coin to be found, and then it's possibly got a connection to her.
Yeah, a values would be any value you could pluck out of that would fit that coin then, probably.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of them found. Brilliant. So well done for him, and it's his first hammer.
Yeah.
So we've had a lot of people on the digs found their first hammer. Whereas lots of them.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to find a hammer that isn't completely worn. Most of mine are worn to the point of you can tell what it is. One of them's probably better than the others, but I'm still waiting to find. Every time I go out with my mates, one of them's pulling up Hammered Coin, and when we were at Leighton Hall with MOD, Ricardo pulled up can't remember what monarch it was, but it was pristine. It was absolutely sensational, and it was a whopper as well.
Yeah. One of our first digs was like that. We had a dig in, it was actually the Scottish borders again, at a place called Scotstoun Bank, and it was a medieval village site that had never ever been touched. And we had 4 huge, 11 or 12 really big hammers come up, and they looked like they'd just been minted. They were really pristine, really, really beautiful coins.
That was a lot first hammy, so it was.
There was a lot of them. It came up that day, and really clean. It was good. It was a good day.
Did one of them not put a spade through theirs as well?
One of them did,
Alan Bell says the best find he ever made was Gary's detector. Don't forget as well, ladies and gentlemen, and this episode will go up in the next week or so. If you are bored and you're driving along and you don't want to listen to Talk Sport or Greatest Hits Radio or Middle Class Radio 2, you can always find online the shows converted to podcast form. They took a break for a bit, but most of them are on there, save about 20 episodes. So even Gary's last episode will be on a podcast here, and this episode with Bobby will be on within the next week. Alan Bell says, if I remember right, that dig had a nice river for trout fishing. That must be the one with all the hammers that come up.
Yeah.
My dad and my uncle used to go fishing, fly fishing for trout. Could never get my head around it. Not for me. And that's where I got my metal detecting from as well. Picture of me in a nice tartan coat when I was about 4 metal detecting, so 45 years ago. Tartan. See, it's a Scottish thing.
It's just a great hobby, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is.
I added to my gear a couple of weeks ago. I think it's here actually somewhere. And Ricardo Lees was very impressed. I got some glasses, normal safety glasses, but Bluetooth ones.
All right.
So, because I like to have a listen to my audio, but if there's nobody around me, if I'm on my own, I'll put my audio book on to keep me company.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I have a little bit of music on low and chill out singing along to myself. And obviously, I didn't want anything in my ears because it's going to affect thingy. So that's on me.
Yeah.
It's Bluetooth, but it acts as like, your bone conductor. It's a bit
like bone conductor, yeah.
They're not bone conductor, they're Bluetooth, but it acts like a bone conductor.
Right.
And it was absolutely bob on for me, that walking around Leighton Hall with me, listening to me music, singing, people looking at me like I was weird. But now everybody's going to got a pair. Actually, I looked like Bobby's twin for a minute then, didn't I, when I put them on? He's coming and going. He's off again. Not this time. Upset him, saying I look like him. So when you're not detecting and you're not working, because you spoke with me privately before the show, you work for yourself, what are you doing? Well, if you're not detecting and you're not working and you're not probably family in, you're getting land for more digs.
Yeah,
if you're not doing any of that, what do you do?
Just probably chilling, watching TV, watching some sort of history program. I watch, my missus will say, I watch all the crap of the day, but that's crap to her. But anything about history, anything about metal detecting, treasure, all that kind of stuff. So I'm alright. I watch Oak Island. I've watched that for years.
And you're only watching it now because you've put so much time in it. You've invested so much time.
Yeah.
You have to keep watching it to see what happens.
got to keep watching it. Gold Rush.
Yeah, same as me.
Yeah, I watch all of these things.
Aussie Gold Hunters, Outback Opal Hunters.
I watch that as well. Expedition Unknown.
Yeah, me too.
Just anything, absolutely anything that's to do with history. I'm kind of fascinated with all that kind of stuff.
I've got a show for you. Do you remember Cooper's Treasure on Discovery?
Yeah.
Daryl Miklos, he's
Yeah.
currently, he's recently launched a new program on the History Channel. It's on in the US. It's the show before Oak Island, and it's called Lost Submarines of World War II or something like that. And they're actually looking for Nazi gold and bits and bobs like that as well.
Yeah.
So that's his new show, and hopefully he's trying to organise a date when he's available. He's going to be coming on the show to discuss that.
That'll be good.
Well, there you go as well. When you're driving around doing your 400 or 500 miles a week, you can listen to the old podcast with him on and that.
Yeah. I do loads and loads of miles.
Yeah.
I mean, the metal detecting club when it was first started to now, I mean, we've done so well. I mean, we've managed to. Obviously, I had my own business, so through raffles, I sold the club one of my old vans. So the club now has a van. We've got our own marquee. We've got 2 gazebos, generators, metal detectors for people to use, spades. We've accumulated so much stuff just through, raffles at digs or raffles on our page to try and get all these things. So we didn't have to, hire all these things for other people.
Yeah.
Once we've got them, and then we can utilise them, or we can hire them out to other people who run a dig group. To bring a bit of money back in, to the club, because it still costs a lot of money. It still costs a lot of money.
That's Bobby, that is.
I think so. It still costs a lot of money to run a bit. Van insurance, tax, fuel, all these things. Week in, week out. It costs an absolute fortune.
Can imagine.
To run a dig group. I'm currently in the process now of, let's say, begging. We're begging people. We're contacting all the sort of metal detecting shops, reps. Trying to get donations. So if there's anyone watching the show or comes onto the show to watch the show, and they've got a metal detecting shop, or they're a rep, or they know someone that would like to make a donation to a rally raffle, get in touch with myself, and I can send them the address and stuff like that. They can send some stuff up. As you know, we all need stuff for our raffles, and the more stuff we get, obviously the better. We always try and have the best raffle we can possibly have, at the rally. So everybody can kind of win. Not everybody, but a lot of people can. I've got a chance of winning a prize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if you do want to contact Gary regarding any donations and that for any of the raffles, obviously you can contact him through LothianRelics.com. Well, Gary, it seemed to have flown by tonight, even though we obviously bored the living daylights out of Bobby.
Yeah.
He's probably got to blame his battery or something now, isn't he? Or that Dave was picking on me saying he looks like me with his glasses on. But just remind people again, Gary, when Detectormania takes place itself.
It will take place on the 20th of September to the 22nd. People are more welcome to stay to the Monday, which is the 23rd. This coming September, and it'll be held in the Scottish Borders. If anybody wants a ticket, they can get a ticket via the website www.lothianrelics.com. 65 quid it is for the tickets. At the end of the day, if you buy a ticket, you're helping a charity out, So there's loads of tickets up for sale, and they'll be on sale right up till the day before.
And obviously, Gary, if you have any more information that you want everybody to have via the show, via the magazine, give me a shout and I can get that information sent out to everybody. And obviously, I'll keep reminding people about the lothianrelics.com for the tickets as well. So we'll do what we can to help at the very least, advertise the event for you and hopefully get you more people, as you say, equals a bigger donation for a very worthy charity.
Yeah.
So that's us for tonight. Back next week. Let me quickly go to my phone because I have actually been organising guests, don't you know? Because I've been very, very busy and I've organised quite a few guests. The running order for such is actually on Big Detecting Show Facebook group. So next week it's a prize draw night. We are being joined by Ollie Gowers, who runs Dig Our Wear. It is a new site which sells T-shirts and such like. So if you want to enter the prize draw, all you have to do is go to Google Dig Our Wear or go via the Ministry Detect Facebook group, and you'll find out where Dig Our Wear is, because I can't remember the website address. Any purchase from Dig Our Wear will automatically gain entry into the prize draw, which is for a Minelab X Terror, the new Minelab X Terrors. So that draw will be taking place on the show. And along with Ollie, will be joined by James Robert at the very least from the Ministry Metal Detecting Group as well. The following week, we have Phil Bish-Williams from the Silers Metal Detecting, followed by, I've been doing loads here, Jenny Ridgewell, author of Guide to Mudlarking, very, very good book. She'll be joining us. The week after that is the 200th episode, where we'll be joined by Gary Smith from Lockdown Competitions, co-hosted by Digger Dawn. The following week after that, we have Holly Ann Wood, going a little bit away from the metal detecting, but not too far away, because Holly, we've organised to be going doing some metal detecting, introducing her to the hobby. She's coming from Project Nanu to give a introduction to that and talk with ourselves about metal detecting, so we can get her in the right frame of mind for coming out. And then we've got 4 weeks free until the 30th of May, where we are joined by Jelly Morgan, who is the metal detective on YouTube and Instagram. So lots of good guests coming up. If you would like to join us as a guest on any of them dates, give me a shout and we will organise something. Gary, absolute pleasure speaking to you again. And
Same here.
And to you, Bobby. Nice one.
Oh, just before you go, I want to say, you were mentioning Oliver Gowers.
Yeah.
So he is also stocking all the Lothian Relics apparel as well. So you can find his link on our page. It's in the feature section at the top. So if anybody wants to get any Lothian Relic stuff, get it through Dig Our Wear.
And if you get it this week, you'll automatically gain entry into the prize draw for the X-Terror.
That's right. Yeah.
So there you go. Right. We'll see you all next week. Thank you again, Gary, and to Bobby as well, who might be watching now or might watch it back, or maybe crying in the corner or in a puddle or something. So same time, same place next week, everybody. Have a good night. Take care.
Thanks.